Hello and welcome to Connected Life. This is Anthony, and this podcast is about manifestation, reconnecting with yourself so that you understand your thoughts and your feelings. The key to life and the key to the reality that you want are based on your thoughts and your feelings. The way you think leads to the way you feel. So if you're not getting what you want in life, the relationship, the job, the health, the wealth, the marriage, the partner, the travel, whatever it is, it's because you're thinking a certain way. And because you're thinking a certain way, you're feeling a certain way. So learn how to manifest what you want based on reconnecting with yourself and managing your thoughts and your feelings. Have a specific topic that you want to hear about? Go to the show notes and click on fan mail and send a question, and we'll be sure to talk about it in an upcoming episode. If you enjoy this episode, please like, share, subscribe if someone else might find it helpful. To see the video version of this on YouTube, go to @YourConnectedLife. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. All right, this is a special episode that is specifically for the ladies. So kind of the younger ladies out there, I'm going to say 25-ish to 36-ish, who are looking for a relationship, or maybe you're in a relationship, things are not going well, things are not going well if you're in the relationship. Things are not going well if you are looking for a relationship. And that is definitely something that you probably want to change. So, welcome to episode 122. This is Anthony. This is Connected Life. And this is how we connect our emotions, our inner feeling, our spirit, with a source greater than ourselves. All right. So in order to do that, we have to understand what we're thinking. We have to understand how what we're thinking is affecting how we're feeling. So if you're thinking a certain way about your partner, if you're thinking a certain way about men in general, that's certainly going to affect the type of men that you attract and how your relationship goes if you are in a relationship. So let's take the example of a young lady who, as a little girl, had a father that was avoidant. In most of those cases, you attract men that are avoidant. And the reason you do that is because that avoidant father created a wound, and you as an adult are trying to heal it. How do you heal it? By dating someone, by finding someone, by marrying someone that's like your dad and changing them or fixing them. It's almost like you're fixing your dad, right? It sounds bizarre. A lot of people laugh at it. A lot of people will say, that's preposterous. And as crazy as it sounds, that's exactly what we try and do in relationships. We typically date, find attractive, and marry people that are very much like our parents. Girls tend to find guys that are like their dads. Boys tend to find girls that are like their moms. And it's for that reason. You're trying desperately to heal a wound. So if you look at the other side of that, if you actually were able to repair the relationship and become very close, connected, and loving with your parent, whether it's your mother or your father or your male or your female caregiver, then you would not seek to do that same thing in a relationship. So the partner that you chose would probably be more in alignment with what you actually need, like someone secure. So now you've fixed, shall we say, that relationship with your parent. So you no longer need to try and do that in your romantic relationships. So I hope that makes sense to you. You can certainly do a lot more research on that topic. You can certainly listen to my other episodes about attachment style and childhood trauma. But for this specific episode, I kind of want to help ladies repair the relationships with their men depending on the dynamic of that relationship. So most of the clients that I work with, if they are a male-female couple, the female tends to be a little more anxious and the male tends to be a little more avoidant, right? The guys tend to be people pleasers. And what does that lead to? That leads to women who don't feel like they can rely on, can count on their men, their boyfriends, their spouse. If you are a man and you are a people pleaser, you're kind of just doing whatever you think you need to do to make your partner happy. And that works in the beginning, right? That works in the first few dates. That works in the honeymoon stage. That works in maybe the first few years. And it starts to fall apart at different points in time. The more stress you have in the relationship, if you add marriage, if you add children, if you add careers, all of that adds more stress. And typically, ladies might become more anxious as time goes by. Men might become more avoidant. And then what do we have? A relationship that starts to fall apart. A relationship that ends in divorce. So if you understand what you're going through, right? What are you thinking? If you understand what you're going through, what are you feeling? And if you can connect the dots between how what you're thinking creates what you're feeling, then you are in a pretty good position to start managing the thoughts, managing the emotions, and then having better outcomes in your relationship. And when it comes to avoidant men, my experience has been if you tell a guy what you need, what you want, in most cases, they will do it. Guys are pretty simple. I have a bunch of episodes out there where I straight up say, guys are pretty simple. I mean, just tell us what you want. Just tell us what you need. We'll do it. So then we have the other side of that where women will say, well, you should already know what to do. Why am I telling you? Why do I need to tell you? And I always go back to, we have 8 billion people on the planet. Everyone is different. How do you expect someone to know what you want? How do you expect someone to know what you need? It is not generic across the board. Every woman does not want the same thing from her man. So before you think or say, oh, he should know what I want, he should know what I need, if he loved me, he would, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not getting anywhere. And if you are in that situation, how is that working for you? How is your relationship going if you have that mindset? Has he figured it out yet? I'm thinking the answer is no. So instead of hoping, instead of waiting, and instead of remaining in a shitty relationship, why don't you say, hey babe, here's what I need. Hey babe, here's what I want. Hey babe, can you help me with? hey babe, how do you feel about, or hey hun, or whatever, hey John. If you're not into babe or hun or whatever it is, say whatever feels comfortable for you. Say whatever you're used to saying, but ask the question. Get it out in the open. Let him know that you're not happy and you need something. So the problem that we run into with this dynamic is, if you're a little bit on the anxious side, or maybe even a lot on the anxious side, you're going to also want to be in a mode of making sure he doesn't get upset. So I won't say too many things, or I won't do certain things because I don't want to upset him, because I don't want him to leave me. The relationship is crap, but I don't want him to leave me. So that's kind of one of those things where you got to get over it. You got to start talking. You got to start communicating. You got to start getting curious and asking questions, and then opening up, and then being vulnerable and asking him questions and helping him feel safe. The more he feels safe, the more you will feel safe. The more he feels safe, the more he will open up and tell you what he can do, what he will do, what he wants to do. The more you tell him what you want and what you need, the more he will be open to telling you he's okay with doing it or not okay with doing it. But that gets us in the mode of communicating. It gets us to a point where we have everything out on the table instead of keeping it inside, having a crappy relationship and being upset about it. So that resentment, that anger, that uneasiness, that walking on eggshells, that overflows, right? That flows into all areas of our life. It affects our job. It affects our children. It affects our family members. If we have sisters, brothers, our parents, it affects how we hang out with our friends, how we're social, because there's always that little thing underneath that says, my relationship's not good. My relationship's not good. And it also may say, I'm afraid to say this thing. I'm afraid to say this thing. And it may also say, in a guy's mind, I'm afraid to speak up. I'm afraid to speak up. So whether you're a guy listening to this and you're afraid to speak up, it's time that you step up. It's time that you speak up. And it's time that you choose and decide what you want from this relationship. Do you want it to be better? Or do you want it to end? Or do you want it to remain crappy? And that's kind of the same question I have for the ladies. Do you want the relationship to end? Do you want the relationship to continue in a crappy manner? Or do you want to improve the relationship? So in order for the relationship to change, what needs to happen? We need to change. And when I say we, that means you and me and you, each person in the relationship. And the easiest way to do that, even though everyone hates it, is for you to change. If I'm in a relationship and it's crappy, the easiest way for me to fix it is for me to change. Everyone wants to go about it changing the other person. Oh, what can they do? How can I change them? How can I fix them? How can I have them make me happy? It's so much easier to take the steps to make yourself happy. Most of us don't believe that making ourselves happy will help make the other person happy. Just think about relieving all your stress in the relationship. Don't you think the other person is going to pick up on that, notice that, feel that energy? Your energy is better, and now your partner feels that energy is better. Your children feel that energy is better. You can't tell me that you're not going to take the first step, that you're unwilling to take the first step. And I don't know if it's anger, if it's resentment, whatever it is, it's up to you to make a choice. You can either stay that way or you can fix it. This podcast, this episode is specifically about fixing it, changing it. How can you change? Ask yourself that question. How can I change? What can I change? What can I eliminate? What can I remove? What can I do differently? How can I communicate? All of these things are the things that we all run away from. And that's why so many people are in horrible relationships. Everyone's afraid. I'm afraid if I say, I'm afraid if I do, I'll be left alone. So you would rather stay in a relationship that's not good, where you're basically alone, you're disconnected, you don't feel safe, you're not loved, but you feel like that's much better than being single. So take the step. Make the move. Ask the question. Make a decision. Practice it alone, out loud. Write it down on paper. Rehearse it in your mind. I will say rehearsing it in your mind and doing it verbally out loud alone is very effective. It gets the energy out. Literally. It gets the energy out of your body. When you speak, the words come out, the energy comes out. So it's getting it out of your body. So if you practice that alone, out loud, it will make it so much easier when you're actually in front of your partner or your spouse and you're talking to them, because your body will already have done it. It will already have rehearsed it. So rehearse it 5, 10, 15, 20 times. Rehearse it until you feel good about it. Rehearse until you feel good about saying it or doing it. Go into the conversation with confidence, with love, with connection. Don't go into it with resentment and anger and I hate that I have to do this. It's all energy, people. Your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife is going to pick up on that. So don't go into any conversation with anger, with resentment. I hate that I need to do this. I hate that I feel like I've been pushed in a corner. You could easily say, hey, I feel like I've been pushed in a corner. I don't like being pushed in a corner. What can I do about it? I can bring it up. I can mention it. I can say, hey, I feel like I've been pushed in a corner. I feel like I'm being pushed in a corner. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. But don't yell, don't scream, don't curse, don't blame, don't accuse, don't point fingers. Understand you're making mistakes. Understand they're making mistakes. Understand you're both making mistakes. You're both learning, you're both growing. But someone needs to take the first step. That's how we did it when we first met. That's how you did it on the first date, on the 10th date. And then somewhere along the line, fear kicked in. Fear of abandonment kicked in. Shame and judgment kicked in. And you stopped communicating. You started shutting down. And the relationship started to fade, and then maybe children came along. And you know, one of the things that I really hate, the people that will tell me, well, you know, it's not the best, but no relationship is perfect. Or, well, you know, it's not great, but it's better than being alone. And you're alone. You have a body with you. Maybe you sleep in the same bed. Maybe you even manage to have sex, but it's not love. It's not connection. It's not real intimacy. It's not, hey, babe, I really want to make love to you. Hey, babe, I really want to show you how much I care for you. Hey, hun, I really want to show you how much I want to spend the rest of my life with you and raise children with you. It's more like, oh yeah, sex. We need sex. We got to have sex because, we need it. Everyone has sex, right? It's a relationship. Yeah, sex. It's not the best, but let's do it. That's another thing that you don't have to do. If you're not enjoying it, why would you do it? It's not mandatory. It's not necessary. And if you're also in fear over, oh, well, if I don't have sex, then maybe they'll leave me, then that's also not good. So we got to start putting everything out on the table. We have to admit what we're going through. We have to admit that we want to fix it. And we have to take the first steps to change it. So when I look at the stats, I notice that a lot of the people listening out there are female, and they're around the ages of 25 to 36. So I figured I would do a podcast episode specifically for that demographic. So if you're out there and you're a female and you're 24, 25, somewhere up to like 36, 37, and you're listening to this and you're in a relationship and it's not going well, please make the first move. And I'm not saying that it needs to be the lady. I'm saying I'm doing an episode for the ladies because you are a very big part of my audience base. Send it to your man. Send it to your husband. Send it to your boyfriend. Let him listen and say, hey, what can we do? Don't say, hey, listen to this and tell me what you can do. That's not collaborative. That's not connection. That's not love. That's not, hey, let's do this thing together. That's going back to, how can you change? How can I fix you? It's not your daddy. It's a guy that has feelings and emotions just like you do. And maybe he had a rough childhood just like you did. And maybe his dad was crappy to him. Maybe his mom treated him like crap, and that's why he avoided his mom, and that's why he's avoiding you. So don't try and fix him. Try and say, yo, I understand what you're going through. I'm going through some of my own shit, but the way out of it is for us to work through it together. That's the point of a relationship. That's the point of love. That's the point of connection. So if you're in a relationship and you want to feel connected, you want to feel loved, you want to feel safe, you want to feel trusted, you have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself and say, this is what I want. This is what I need. And if I can't get it, or if you can't give it, or if we can't work through it together, let's just go our separate ways. I remember going to counseling. I was in therapy, I was in a relationship, and I went to counseling, and then we went to another counselor, and then we went to another counselor, and I guess we were at maybe like the fourth therapist, counselor, whatever. And the first thing she said was, well, sometimes counseling is to realize the relationship is not going to work for you. And it was the best thing that I had heard, because I had been going to counseling and therapy thinking, I got to fix this. I got to fix this. I got to fix this. We got to work this out. We have to make this work. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you have to make the decision to walk away, but you have to be strong enough to do that. You have to know that you're able to do that. You have to know that you can do that and you'll be fine, and that it's better than staying in a relationship that is not serving you, that is not loving, that does not help you feel connected and safe and cherished and important and respected and appreciated. So, ladies, and maybe even men, how do you feel? What do you think? Send a message to fan mail in the comments below the show description and let me know. Is this something that you want to talk about more? Is this something that you find helpful? What else do you need to talk about? How else can we get your current relationship, your current marriage in a space where it is blossoming, where it feels great, where it feels fantastic, where you are just ecstatic every time you think about your partner, and how that energy flows from you to your partner and your children and your family and your coworkers and your friends. That's what connection is about. And when we feel that love inside for ourselves, because we know we love ourselves enough to speak up or to leave a relationship, that love flows outward and everybody feels it. So, that's all I got for you today. I hope that I touched a nerve, that I helped you feel something. I hope that I opened up some curiosity, and that you can say, you know what? I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do something, because doing something is better than doing nothing. The world is moving really fast. So change things as you need to change things so that your life is filled with joy and love and connection. Thanks for listening. Well, that's our show for today. I truly hope that you enjoyed and gained some personal knowledge. Please download, like, and share if you believe someone may benefit from this show. Send me a text with your questions about the connection between thinking, emotions, and manifestation by clicking on fan mail in the show's description. Video footage of this podcast is available on YouTube at Your Connected Life. Thank you for listening, and let's connect again next week.